Recently, Meghan McCain went after President Joe Biden over his Catholic faith. Take a look.
If you are a devout Catholic, as President Biden claims to be, abortion is a cardinal sin that can do deep spiritual harm to you. And President Biden had been supportive of the Hyde Amendment up until 2019 when he decided to run for president. And the Hyde Amendment means that the government would provide federal funding for abortion or wouldn't. And now he is for it. And he has shown in this upcoming budget that he is for it. And I think that sort of has been the threshold. I remember when it happened, having a conversation with a friend of mine who was close to him saying, for me, this is a deep paradigm shift for how I view President Biden, because if he's for the federal funding of abortion, and I know the women on this show disagree with me, but as far as I'm concerned, abortion is murder, and that means the government funding of killing of the unborn, and we have to, as pro-lifers, fight for the rights of the unborn, and that is a doctrine that's as old as the Catholic Church itself. So he has to choose, if his official stance, by the way, is he's politically opposed or personally opposed to abortion, but doesn't feel that he had the right to impose this view on the rest of the country. And it just, for someone who claims to be pro-life, I never understand this argument. It's like saying, I'm personally opposed to murder, but if you want to murder a little bit, it's fine because it's not my problem. It doesn't register with me. I don't get it. So it's ultimately up to the church, but he's walking a very fine line here. And ultimately, all of these issues are literally life and death for Catholics, for devout Christians, and he's going to have to ultimately talk to his creator when the time comes, as we all do, and reconcile his politics with his personal faith. And I believe that he's doing grave spiritual harm to himself and harm to this country.
He's going to have to reconcile. No, he doesn't. And if it, I don't care. I don't care. You know what? I'm glad that I live in the United States of America, where we are not governed by the religion of Meghan McCain. Because that's where we live. And in fact, that would be downright un-American if her religion applied to everybody. Again, Congress shall make no law respecting religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Meaning that Meghan McCain can go and be pro-life if she wants. So can Joe Biden. But when it comes to public policy, you have to make good public policy, which is allowing people to make the choice. Again, if you're against abortion, don't get one. Don't get one. But you shouldn't be able to stop somebody else from getting one. That's what these authoritarian fundamentalists like Meghan McCain don't understand. We don't believe in your religion. You can take your book and shove it up your ass. By the way, so you're saying you have a problem with federally funding abortion, as she makes that argument, right? All right, well, what's your stance on the death penalty? That's federally funding very, very late-term abortions. You're against murder, but you're okay with the death penalty? That's weird. That's weird. And by the way, unlike abortion, thou shalt not kill is actually in the Bible. Actually, you know what? There is a mention of abortion in the Bible, but it's in the Old Testament. In fact, it's in the book of Numbers, where, if there's a woman that's suspected of adultery, she would undergo the ordeal of the bitter water, which, when administered, would result in an abortion of the fetus in many interpretations. So nowhere else in the Bible is abortion explicitly mentioned. And even if it was, it wouldn't matter because we are not a fundamentalist country. You want that? Go to South Africa. There are countries in Southern Africa that have fundamentalist Christian governments that are not good with homosexuality, the LGBTQ rights, or abortion. So you can go live there, and then you can take part in that, that government, that country that fits your Christianity. Now, one more thing here, a big surprise. She's actually wrong about the government funding abortions. Okay, we don't. I actually think we should. I'd rather see more money first, of course, put into comprehensive sex education, as well as access to free birth control. You could also reduce abortion, if you're against it, by improving the material conditions in this country. Again, the people who, need abortions the most or get the most abortions the most are people who generally cannot afford to raise a child, make the material conditions better, and they might make the choice to have more children. Or not, it still isn't our issue. It still isn't our concern what they do. But again, if you want to encourage families, then offer free childcare, higher wages, healthcare, Medicare for all, reduce the amount of debt required for education by offering free college and debt cancellation. That would encourage more families. But that's not the direction that Meghan McCain would go in. And although she did speak out, I believe, in favor of childcare, even so, with all of that stuff in place, we still need to have abortion be allowed and safe and legal. Okay? And so I'm just saying, following this, McCain got pounded on Twitter. Here's a couple of them. This is coming from conservatives. Joe Walsh, one of the most conservative members of the so-called resistance, right? He says, I'm pro-life, but where does Meghan McCain get off imposing her faith on another human being's faith? Okay, I agree. Who is she to say that Joe Biden must say to his creator? None of us know the truth, so all of us should be humble enough to allow each of us to profess our own personal faith. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's your personal faith. That's yours. Between you and whatever deity you believe in. A flying spaghetti monster, doesn't matter. It's not the issue of the state. The state should not be involved in religion. And that's it. End of story. That's what the Constitution is for. To guarantee that we don't have one religion that rules over everyone else, but that everyone can be able to practice their religion freely without hurting other people. And again, that's the whole point. Another person says, God forbid people have personal qualms with the tenets of their faith, as if every Jewish person completely agrees with every facet of our faith. And again, that applies to every single faith. Another person says, Meghan McCain accusing pro-choice advocates of being murderers while clinging to her AR-15. Well, to be fair, Meghan McCain's never murdered anybody, but still. And finally, Princess Meghan McCain, with all her family's wealth, need to mind her own damn business. She cannot tell a woman raising children while living off slave wages what's in her best interest as it relates to her reproductive choice. And again, that kind of goes back to why I'm totally fine with federal funding of abortion. If we had federal funding of abortion, that's not going to make the numbers of abortions skyrocket. What it's going to do is it's going to allow people in minority communities especially be able to, and I'm saying minority communities mainly because what you have is more poverty in those areas. If you allow these women to have reproductive choice and freedom to be able to choose to have children when they want to, that's going to help women in those areas. Every place that access to safe legal abortion, as well as contraception and comprehensive sex education, every place that is introduced to ends up having better outcomes for women and society overall. It turns out when you raise up women everywhere, society does better as a whole. Who would have known? And that main tenet is allowing women to have choices over their own body. Meghan McCain needs to shut the fuck up. And if she did, well, the world would be a better place. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.